GeoFuck Site Perspectives in the building, and this is about to be one of those topics where folks might be upset, might be mad, what have you, and I hope you do get mad and upset, to be honest. So I'm talking about black women, black mothers, black grandmothers, great grandmothers, aunts, sisters, black cisgendered heterosexual women, black cis women. I'm going there today. And the reason why I'm going there today is because oftentimes when we talk about the dysfunctions of the black community, a lot of the focus is on racism and the black man, right? So it's the black man's fault for, being a deadbeat father, not providing for his family, not protecting his family, not raising his children, etc. It's racism and white people's and white supremacy fault for the institutionalized racism and the segregation and the discrimination and harassment and abuse and murder and death and slaughter, etc. But yet there's no real conversation on how black women play a major role in the dysfunction of the black family, of the black children, of the black community. Instead, there's this huge savior complex where, you'll even hear a lot of the Hotep Negroes say, well, the black woman is God. And but then at the same time, it's very delusional, because one minute the black woman is God, and then the next minute the black woman is a bitch. She can't be both. How is she going to be the God and a bitch at the same time? Like, how do you put someone on a pedestal and then at the same time degrade and dehumanize and disrespect? How do you disrespect your God is my point. That's how I know a lot of you are pathetic, delusional, crazy, and out of control. Major cognitive dissonance, because none of that really make any logical sense. Anyways, and I'm saying this because I'm looking at my own experiences dealing with black women in my family, with my mother and my grandmother, and just looking at how, a lot of us are dysfunctional and have severe mental health issues because of the people that raised us. And ironically enough, when 70% of the households are headed by single parent households, and the single parents more than likely tend to be women, so in the black community, black women, it's not a surprise that a lot of black children have a lot of severe emotional issues, mental health issues, psychological issues. It's all kinds of dysfunction. And I'm getting to this to say this. Like yesterday, my grandmother had a whole out rage, just yelling, cussing, going crazy. It's 10 something at night. You're 74 years old. Why are you sitting up screaming, hollering, But then I started looking back at my life, and I'm like, that's all she's ever really done, is sit up and act a damn fool, but then want to be treated like royalty. And that seems to be a lot of black women. Y'all want to sit up and want everybody to kiss your ass, and woe is me, and it's so hard being black and female, black and a woman, da 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 da. But then you turn around and treat your children like shit. You purposely sit up, especially if there's multiple children in the family. A lot of black women do this. Y'all will sit up and manufacture beef and discrepancies between the siblings, so there can be some type of drama. And then this is also a bigger rooted problem with narcissism in a nutshell, dealing with toxic people, dealing with pathological folks. Like, these folks are the worst. I sit up here and watch my grandmother do this all my life. Sitting up here one minute, I love my daughter. My daughter is doing this and da 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 da. The minute the daughter don't do something that she wants or that she needs or she thinks she deserves, then fuck the daughter. My daughter ain't shit. She's a crackhead. She's this, she's that. But my son, he's educated and smart. The minute the son doesn't do something, oh, well, fuck him. He's lazy. He needs to get his life together. My grandchild is smart and educated and out here doing stuff in the community. The minute the grandchild, me, doesn't do something, well, fuck them. They're mentally ill. They're trans. They're fucked up in the head. So again, all of this purposely pitting your children and offspring against each other instead of supporting a healthy, loving relationship between the people in your family. All she does, and a lot of black women do this, is sit up and keep drama going. Keep drama going. And that's narcissistic as hell. Anytime other people are enjoying themselves, having a good time, happy, laughing, smiling, giggling, in a bubbly mood, you can best believe this black woman, my grandmother, she's going to have a problem. Because that's what it is. Yesterday I came in from work. Mind you, I work 40 minutes away from where I live. So roughly I have to commute 2 hours a day, an hour there, an hour back. Okay, like I'm headed to work now. That's why a lot of my videos I'm in the car. And then I work, my current shift is 10 to 7, but sometimes I'll do overtime, and then at least 3 days out the week, I'm at the gym. At least. So by the time I get home, most days it's 9:30, 10 o'clock, sometimes 10:30, 11 o'clock. So, and then my friend, we talk on the phone almost every night. So, I come in the house from working, did a little overtime, went to the gym and killed it, drove 40 minutes home on the phone with my friend, walking the house to her yelling and screaming and going on one of her various tantrums. And this is something that I grew up with. So again, this type of mental, psychological abuse and manipulation that a lot of black children go through dealing with these black women, and I'm just calling it out because it's just odd how we all can reminisce about the women in our lives who didn't do anything but put everybody up against each other, tear folks down. Like, again, another thing, while she's yelling and screaming, she's belittling the entire time. All the name calling you out your name, shut up, da, 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 da. And then you're on the phone and you're purposely yelling and screaming, but then you're the same person who don't want other folks to know about what's going on with you, but then you don't want people to tell your business, but then you all on the phone screaming and hollering like a damn lunatic at 74 years old at 10 something at night while I'm on the phone. And none of us really talk about these out of control behaviors in the black community, particularly dealing with black women. I'm just saying, a lot of black women are raising broken children. They are not good mothers. They are not good grandmothers. They are just as toxic and full of shit as the deadbeat niggas that they complain about. And when you really sit down and think about it, it's like the pot calling the kettle black. I mean, it's literally a match made in hell, because you got the trashy black bitch that gets with the trashy black nigga, and then they create broken, dysfunctional ass families and kids that they have no intentions of raising. That's their thing, okay? So it's not a surprise. But we don't talk about it because in the black community, oh, how dear mama, how dare you talk about the black, fuck the black woman. The black woman is just as problematic as the black man. I'm so sick and tired of this damn savior complex that some of these black bitches have. I'm sick of it. Because it's ridiculous. We want to sit up here and put these grandmothers and these big mamas on a pedestal when most of them, they're not good people. And we know they're not good people. Because ask yourself this, if this was a stranger on the street, if this person was not a family member, would you be putting up with their bullshit? The answer is probably hell no. So really, it makes you sit down and think about things. Okay? It makes you sit down and think about things. And then it's crazy, because another thing that I noticed with narcissistic, toxic, pathological abusers, they're never satisfied. Sunday, I went and bought her a new coffee pot and some new wine glasses because my mother, who has MS, multiple sclerosis, she broke the coffee corral when she was trying to wash it because it's hard for her to hold stuff. I mean, her joints, everything is just, you feel me? And then the same thing with the wine glasses. But then Granny also breaks a lot of her own wine glasses, let's be real. So I went to Walmart because I was already over there and just replaced them and brought them home. Again, you're talking about a person who's never satisfied. You could buy this bitch the earth. You could buy this bitch the world. You can give her all the time, love, and attention. It doesn't fucking matter. She's going to be bitching, moaning, and complaining because enough is never enough for her. And again, when you're dealing with narcissistic, toxic ass people, this is what you're going to be dealing with. Okay, you're never going to be able to satisfy these people, and you can literally do all of these nice things for them, show them love and gratitude, and they will still turn around and cuss you out, talk down about you, gossip about you. All kinds of shit will still be done to you and said to you by these people. So that's why when you're dealing with these types of folks, the best, especially if you're dealing with a family member who's like this, gray rock, stonewall in a discussion. I used to go back and forth with her when she would be yelling and cussing and, calling me all out of my name and this is my whole life. This has been my whole life. And I used to go back and forth, but once I learned out about narcissism and narcissistic abuse, I gray rock. I instantly go in the room. I'm not finna listen to you, and I don't care. Because you're nothing but a miserable bitch. And that's been your entire fucking life. And then this weekend, I noticed, and this is gonna be one of them videos. This weekend, I noticed Saturday and Sunday, my uncle and my mom, they live at my grandparents' house. My grandma lives over here with me, right? They out there, it's his birthday. He'll be turning 44 on the 18th of September. So he threw a little birthday gathering. He didn't bother to invite Granny, or at least that's what Granny said. Because another thing, dealing with pathological narcissistic people, they always play the victim, right? Everybody's always doing something to them. Everybody's always hurting them. But they never see how people don't want to deal with your toxic, abusive ass. Okay? And then for all we know, Trey probably did invite your stupid ass. But as usual, you want to play the victim. You want everything to be about you. So, okay. But even if he didn't invite you, why should he? It's his birthday. Again, narcissistic people want everything to be about them. Everything must evolve around them. Then on top of that, we know how she is. Who in their right mind wants to invite your evil, disgruntled bitch ass so you can ruin the fucking mood? It's my birthday. If it's his birthday, I don't blame him. You want to have fun. You want to laugh. You want to smile. You want to joke. You want to be in a good, positive environment, and you want to be surrounded by people who love and support you, not by somebody that's going to start a fucking argument because they're not getting their way. Again, when you're dealing with narcissists, it's like you're dealing with a fucking 5-year-old permanently because they have the emotional intelligence of a fucking 5-year-old. Oh, I don't get my way, so I'm going to throw a tantrum. Again, the shit is a major turnoff, bruh. So, moving forward. Then she's asking me well, don't you think it's rare that he didn't invite us? And little did she know, my mom had literally texted me Saturday like, hey, we're having a barbecue, we got drinks, we got you feel me, we got the music, we about to enjoy life, you should come on out. Me personally, this past year has been woo. So my mindset has really changed. Like, I don't really care for being around my family, just to be honest. I don't. And it's like it's so much energy that has to be out of you just to be around them for 1 hour. So I'm at the point now where if I don't see you, it doesn't bother me, to be honest. It just doesn't. So I kind of knew I wasn't going, just to be real, and I didn't feel like going. So Sunday, Granny wins, and I'm thinking, well, I was told, I just didn't go. And then, well, what about your grandmother? And then she goes into, well, what are you gonna do? And I'm like, I'm not doing shit. Y'all grown as fuck. You're not getting gifts and cards from me anymore. And then, mind you, the previous week I did Grandparents' Day. I celebrated grandparents, and it makes me wonder, like, we're always kissing your ass, and you always treating us like shit. So this year has been really mind-opening for me to realize sometimes you really have to say, fuck them, chuck up the deuces, and match that energy or ignore their asses. And the reason why I said, well, I don't really care, y'all grown, because again, for as long as I can remember, my mom and uncle My mom used to, you know, before 2012, used to. But even then, she would have her issues. My uncle, the last time he did anything, and that was actually, like, reciprocated, was in 2015. So, I don't do the gift giving and all that shit anymore. I don't, because, and this might sound selfish or rude, whatever, but y'all don't never get me shit. Yet I'm always the one expected to spend hundreds and thousands of dollars on y'all for birthdays and Christmases, Mother's Days, and grandparents' days, and just because days. But yet, when it's time to reciprocate, y'all never can do it for me. So I don't. No, I'm not. Fuck y'all, and that's real. Me, myself, and I, for real. Bruh, if you haven't got the memo, Gio don't give a fuck no more. I'm not sitting up here worrying about you and all your fucking issues. But anyways, and part two coming up.